Go ahead.
Go for it. Okay. Well, Janet, it's been fun getting to know you and being here for the second time at your school. And I just, first of all, want to just compliment you on this place.
Oh, thank you very much.
You've got things in order, and I just appreciate your teachers that I worked with this morning. They're very sharp.
They are. They're
tuned in.
They're here because they want to be here, and we're
They're
STEM
here,
school.
Yep.
So
they're really paying attention. They're really going to use what we share. But
Absolutely.
you first put MathLine in as a result of what?
Okay, the reason I put MathLine in is Tricia Allen is one of our math curriculum specialists, and she recommended it. And then the minute I saw them, I knew that they would be great for us. And I'm just to remind your audience, I'm Jan Frank, and Dr. Frank. I'm the STEM coach at CREC's Academy of Engineering, Aerospace and Engineering, sorry. And what we noticed is we were getting kids to count. If a kid was trying to count from a pile, because we use Kathy Richardson's things, a kid will start to try to count, or they'll have a mess and they lose track of where they are, or they pull several at the same time. And so a kid can have a pile like this and end up telling you that it's 106 because they're counting round and round and it's very disorganized.
Okay.
And so when I saw, the first math line I saw was the Math 20. And the thing that I thought was really nice about it is that it's like a math line, but it's a concrete math line. So that when a kid is using one of these, now some of them may still do some of this, but you can teach them to use a little pincer, and then slowly they get a handle on one-to-one. And the nice part about it also is that because it's got the markers for the 5 and the 10, you can teach them something like do a fast 5. So 5 is a group, and then do counting on 6, 7, 8. And a lot of those skills help lay a strong foundation later when they're going to be doing fluency in addition and subtraction in first grade. Now we had bought, this is cute. I just had our pre-K teachers in here. The pre-K was interested in your new math line for 10 because for some of our little kids, because we have 3 and 4-year-olds, having the extra 10 there is overwhelming to them. And what we really want is fluency more for 10.
Okay.
So the girls have already told me that they're interested in having this too. Last time when you came, I had bought some Reckon ranks. And the reason I like using the Reckon ranks for the numbers is it's good for set theory because the kids aren't worrying about the actual numerals.
Right.
They're just worried about the actual content. And when you were showing today, we are doing, the new pre-K math standard does include composition and decomposition of numbers. And so for kids to be able to know things like, this is 3, sort of like a math frame. This is 3, could be 3 this way. We do a lot with how numbers can look different ways, the way on dice or with your fingers. You know, we play some, like we call it Bullwinkle math, what's 4 and none, or 2 and 2, or 3 and 1. And so you can do the same thing with the Reckon rank. The nice part about with the math Reckon rank is that you have the Reckon rank on one side, they get the set, and then when they flip, they can see, as they're doing their counting, the number line again. So this will be helpful. Now the original, we have on the original, we use these a lot for math differentiation. We've been using them in small group. The original 100 had a few flaws. I complained. Thank you for changing it. When the kids were counting off, when they hit after they get to 20, when they got to the 5, some of our kids were having problems continuing with 26. And so I do also have to check and see, okay, when kids are learning to count to 100, to check and see if they are now learned to read the numerals in first grade versus really have the rational counting in their head. We'll turn it around just like a Reckon rank, although I'm not sure if that's originally how you had thought of the design, but now that you have this Reckon rank, it just becomes obvious that we'll do it here too. The new one you have, which is what I requested, and I was really happy to see, has 20 on a line. So now our kids, when they get to the end of a decade, they'll have an easier time moving from the 20 to the 21. So I was pretty happy to see that.
And 40 to 41.
And 40 to 40 and 61.
So forth.
Right.
Yes.
Because having the break at the 5 was trickier, having the break at the 10. These are also good for just adding. If you're adding numbers and equations, these are great. You can turn them this way, have kids do problems together and roll dice and so forth. I guess one of the things that I do like about this is that with the Reckon rank, and we also use the 10 frames. This is similar in a way to a 10 frame. in that you can move over the 10 and then go 10 and one more is 11 and 12 and get the kids to get a sense of 10. And by having real beads on here, or counters, however you want to call them, the kids really are getting a good sense of the fact that numbers aren't just jumping points on a Monopoly game, but a number is really made up of a set of things. Let's
talk about that.
Okay. The nice part about this also is that for our little 3 and 4 year olds, when the teacher was working them with small group, the little 3 and 4 years could easily hold these and then flip them.
Sure.
Now I know you've made
To do math on both sides.
to do math on both sides, right, between the reckon rank and a number line. That's correct. Now, the new one, I can see where people would have wanted, like on this, the fact that the kid will see 10 and then there's nothing down here. There would be 0 beads or 0 counters here, and then it's the same kind of thing. The other thing that I think I'm liking about this that I hadn't thought of before is that it's even more clear than ever, because I always liked the markers because it was easy to keep track with the kid. You know, had they gotten to 5 or 6 or 7, you could look right down and know. But now with the beads all one color, I guess it's pretty easy too that the kid can do a fast 5 and move on, or do the flip. So, final thoughts on this is that the reason, after Tricia explained this and I saw this, I brought it in and I let the teachers try them out with the kids, first at Discovery Academy and now here at Aerospace Elementary. And as you could see today when the teachers were talking with you, and I asked the pre-K, is this something that you think we should get? The teachers were excited to try this one out, and that's how we ended up getting this new one. Is we experimented and tried it out and everybody liked it, and currently we're using it pre-K, K, and first grade.
Okay.
So hopefully, I guess the long and the short of it is, particularly as a STEM school, if a child doesn't really have solid number sense and you want to be into a STEM career and you want to go into college, you're not going to be able to do it if you can't count. And that mathematics, all my own children are in STEM things. My son was a computer science engineer and so forth. If you don't have really strong underpinnings, you have to take calculus for many of the different STEM careers at the college level.
Sure.
And if you've gotten behind early on and haven't learned any number sense where you can fluidly play with things, you're going to really be lost. So one of our big goals, although science is our showcase, is to give that strong foundation in mathematics so that all our kids have opportunity. And you know, that's our big goal here. And I think that from what we've seen so far, between using the Kathy Richardson things, and Patty Hahn has been, you know, helping us in training our paraprofessionals and associate instructors, that pretty much all our kids are making forward motion, and everybody's extremely happy how kids are slowly, they may take a little more time because everyone blossoms at their own rate, but they're all moving forward and are beginning to be able to do their counting to closer and closer to grade level and stay on track. So we've been very happy.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.